And we no longer have money to afford to survive.
I fucking said it. I'm sick of being homeless.
I'm getting a $16 meal right now. And it's burgers and fries. You understand? Ground beef is like $5.
Just spent over $100 on groceries for 2 people, over $5 a gallon on gas.
Life is just so goddamn expensive, and I don't understand how the fuck can life be expensive and you
paying more than $32,000 a year just for childcare.
It's easier to get approved for a $2,000 a month fucking rent than a $1,000 a month mortgage.
My mortgage will be $2,800.
But I've been in places in rural America where they don't have schools, and the only jobs they have are Amazon warehouses.
Being poor always been difficult, but today millions of Americans are saying even surviving has become more difficult than ever. So what happened to America? I thought America was land of milk and honey. So now we got people who's struggling to pay bills or even barely put food on the table. And they're working, putting time in the system for quite a bit. And the system cannot even take care of them. So now they have to cut down or choose to live in car or a storage or tent or choose to flee. And this is America, you're telling me. Let me know down below the comment what your thought. Let's make sure you guys subscribe.
It's actually really expensive to be poor in America because America is designed to take advantage of lower class people. It is designed to keep lower income people as low income as possible. They don't want a ton of vertical movement up the wealth meter because they don't want people that are lower class to take over the wealthier class spots because they need the lower class to help be exploited and help fund the wealthier class. So for the wealth class to survive, they need people to stay down. So it is actually more expensive to be poor in a lot of situations. Like, for instance, boots. Perfect example. I'm sure everyone has heard the boots example. Is a good pair of working boots expensive? Very expensive. It could be like $200-$300 for a really good, well-made pair of boots. But a cheap pair of work boots from Walmart is like $50 to $60. If you are paycheck to paycheck, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to pay for the cheaper boots that are going to last you maybe 6 months. And then you're going to be back and you're going to have to buy a new pair of boots. And then you're going to maybe have those last another 6 months, but you're not going to be able to pay $200-$300 every 6 months. So each time the new boots come up, you're never going to be able to afford expensive new boots. You're only ever going to be able to afford the cheap ass boots that are going to keep breaking. But if you just bought the $200 boots at the first time, those could last a decade and you would have never had to replace them. And it would have been a lot cheaper than paying for $50 boots every year or every other year for 10 years.
Rural America is probably the scariest place to be in America, and it's not even any offense to them, but I've been in places in rural America where they don't have schools, and the only jobs they have are Amazon warehouses. So the only line of employment you could possibly have, the only movement you could have in this area is be born and go work at Amazon, and that's your whole life. There's no other opportunity. The best thing you could get out of it is like going and making some internet money somehow, and that's really terrifying to me. Like, these communities are being underserviced in so many ways. It scares me because no one ever really talks about them, because people only want to talk about the small town America that is like low-key more like middle town America. There is very, very rural parts of America, and these people are being underserviced in a massive way, in a huge way.
Let me tell you something. In America, being poor is expensive.
I live in the DMV, the Washington, D.C. metro area, for those who are not familiar, and I just spent over $100 on groceries for 2 people, over $5 a gallon on gas, and $10 on a smoothie, all in the same shopping center. Like, if this isn't the American dream, then I don't know what is. Like, seriously, I don't know what my generation, Gen Z, has to complain about. Like, life is so amazing, isn't it? Like, what could we possibly have to complain about, right? Like,
and I be trying to figure out, why is it so expensive to be broke? Like, I don't know. The most expensive life you can live is being broke. Like, when you are broke, life is just so goddamn expensive. And I don't understand how the fuck can life be expensive and you ain't got no damn funds. I'm confused here. Them overdraft fees hit you. Them bills hit you. Everything is hitting you all at once, and they just keep stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking and adding on. Like, goddamn, the most expensive lifestyle you could ever live is being broke. Like, I can't make this up. I really cannot make this up. You could be down bad on your ass. You're probably gonna have to sell some ass because, baby, man, you be getting out of hand when you broke. I'm just confused on how does that happen? Like, you know it's bad when being broke is expensive. Like,
Hi, Key. I just want to drop this bar on you that was dropped on me last year, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. It's expensive to be poor in America. And recently, I've been seeing like a lot of TikToks of like, oh, like you shouldn't like be like feel bad of like you have to call yourself poor or anything like that because that's just a system. Like, it's a systemic problem. It's not like an actual you problem. And it's the truth. Like, the system is quite literally built against us, from the media we consume to the education we learn to even just our day-to-day lives. But I mean, like, it sucks.
Y'all, I'm sick of being homeless. Yeah, I fucking said it. I'm sick of being homeless. And what's crazy is people would see my circumstances and call me broke. But, bitch, a lot of you bitches couldn't even afford to be homeless. That's what's crazy. Now, if you just one of those homeless people who, you know, you sleep on the street, you sleep outside of establishments and stuff like that, okay, then it could be a little bit cheaper. If you have a car to sleep in, a little bit cheaper. But when you're the type of homeless that I am, where you don't have no car, and you have a kid, that kind of homelessness is expensive as a bitch. I'm not going yet. It is expensive, it costs a lot of money, and it costs a lot of my fucking mental health. And I'm tired. Like, I feel like God is asking shit of me.
So the world is getting more expensive. We are not making more money than we were. And I've been wondering to myself, what's the end game here? Like, what is it they're going for? What could be possibly beneficial about a society, a state, a nation of a bunch of starved homeless people? They couldn't afford their homes. They couldn't afford rent. They couldn't afford anything. An entire nation of citizens that just crashed and burned at the hands of these people who saw it coming and knew it was coming and could have done something to stop it, but didn't. And I've come up with my own little conspiracy theory. I hate it. It is horrific. When we no longer have money to afford to survive every month, what else are we going to have to pay with? Our labor. I think we're going to get to a point where we're just so broke that money's not going to do it anymore. And what's going to happen is, when no one can afford anything, the rich are going to swoop in, buy all of it. I think they're looking to personally just own all the housing, buy all the houses, and that's going to be part of the benefits package of becoming an employee. They want to be able to lend it to us. They'll give you housing, they'll give you transportation, they'll supply you with food and water and a hot shower as long as you work for them. And if you don't like the conditions, if you don't like your wage, hours, what the fuck can you do about it? Absolutely nothing. If any of you even try to organize and unionize, you will lose everything helping you survive. I think they're looking to control everybody's situation, to own everything. So we have to supply them with the only thing we got, which is our fucking labor, in order to get any of it. They're looking to take away our ability to own and then take it the fuck away if we want to act up. I hope I'm wrong.
You know what's fucking crazy in America? In America, it's easier to get approved for a $2,000 a month fucking rent than a $1,000 a month mortgage. It's fucking nuts, the process that you have to go through to try and get a mortgage in America. Versus if you have credit, you can buy the house, pay $1,300 a month in a mortgage, and then charge me $2,200 a month to rent it from you. I can't get approved to buy the house for a $1,300 mortgage, but I can get approved to rent the house for $2,200 a month. I don't know how the fuck that makes any kind of sense. I don't know, like, you know, how it makes any kind of fucking sense, how renters in America haven't figured this out yet and said, hey, this isn't fucking right, and united together. So it's just super fucking perplexing to think about. It's a system in America that exploits the people with lower credit, which are typically, more poorer people, or people who made bad decisions in their past, and then keep them stuck in a cycle of having to rent, which is higher than a mortgage. So meaning that, you make less money, you pay more for rent and utilities, and it keeps you in that cycle. But still, we haven't woken up and said, you know what, maybe we should pass some laws and say, rent can't be higher than a mortgage, or some common sense shit that says, people who can be approved for a $2,200 rent should be able to be approved for a $1,200 mortgage. I don't fucking get why we haven't done these systems yet.
Just because you own a home does not mean that you cannot get priced out of the home that you supposedly own. As we all know, in the US, most of us don't really own anything. I bought my house in 2022 in August, and my monthly payment was going to be $1,500 a month because that's what I had said I could afford. Okay? Since 2022 August, we're now in 2026, almost 4 years later. I just got notice that my mortgage will be $2,800 a month. Since 2022, my income has remained pretty much the same. Maybe it's gone up by, let's just say, 10 grand or so. Not that much. But I'm saying this for people that are considering buying a home, that it is possible that you can still get priced out. Mine is because my insurance went up. My insurance per year is $5,500. Why? Good question. It's gone up every year, of course, as it normally does. However, I had 2 incidences caused by weather and storm damage that had nothing to do with anything I did. And ever since then, my premiums have gone up. I live in a big city, so it's between that and the rise of property taxes. I'm getting priced out of the home that I bought thinking that I could afford it. Genuinely, I don't know what to do. I did just have a conversation with my mortgage company about this, and they're like, you obviously need to shop for new insurance, but every quote that I'm getting is about the same as that. I can't afford to pay almost $3,000 a month for not a house that even it's not even worth $3,000 a month, guys. It's a beautiful house, but it's not worth $3,000 a month. It's very frustrating to try to commit to a place, commit to a mortgage, knowing what you can afford. I definitely had a max. I knew it wasn't ever going to stay at $1,500. This is not my first time owning a home. This is not my first time. This is my second time owning a house. And I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm genuinely afraid that I might be in a position where I can't afford this house anymore and I have to let it go.
But like America's past the point of like one of the best countries to live in because your money will go so far other places. As someone who's traveled the world, not really. Our money doesn't go that far anymore. Like we are on par with a lot of countries as the average American. Sure, our average wage is high, but that's because we have the outliers of the mega rich setting off the people who are living paycheck to paycheck. So, like, yeah, of course, the median wage looks like it's higher than it actually is. Meanwhile, everyone who actually knows people are struggling. Like, everyone who's post-grad, struggling. Everyone who's, like, a single mother or single father, struggling. Because things are unattainable and unaffordable now.
The federal poverty line for a family of 4 is $32,150. For an individual, it's $15,650. If that sounds crazy to you, that's because it is. I know people who are paying more than $32,000 a year just for childcare. A Wall Street portfolio manager recently went viral for saying that the new poverty line for a family of 4 should actually be $140,000. He's gotten a lot of pushback for saying that, but $32,000 is definitely way too low. Here's how he broke down the basic needs budget for a family of 4 where both parents have jobs and there are 2 children. $32,000 for childcare, $23,000 for housing, $15,000 for food, $15,000 for transportation, $11,000 for healthcare, and $22,000 for other essential things. The median household income in 2024 was $83,730, but a lot of families making $80,000 feel like they're barely scraping by. What amount of money would let you live comfortably?
$16 for a burger, fries, and a water. 16, I don't care. Stop pretending like this shit is not crazy. I used to go to the burger spot by my high school and get a $5 burger with fries. I'm getting a $16 meal right now. And it's burgers and fries. You understand? Ground beef is like $5. Why the fuck is why is it $16? 16. I was better off getting Chipotle. That's why I'm kind of regretting that. But my point is, I don't give a fuck how much money I have. $16 for a burger and fries is crazy to me. I don't care. I'm still going to buy $2,000 shoes, but I feel like I have to draw the line at a $16 burger and fries. I'm mad hungry, though. I ain't eat all day. So I need that. But
really is so fucking expensive to be poor in this country. I use Bank of America and I just noticed they charged me a monthly maintenance fee this month. That I know they were temporarily waiving for me. I had called in and let them know about my situation since I technically don't have a full-time job. I think since I wasn't getting a payroll direct deposit, it was triggering a late fee. So I had called in and I let them know, like I technically work for myself part-time. I can't keep a balance of $1,500 or more. Can anyone right now? So I'm going to have to pay the fucking $12 every month. Like, ugh. I never ever take out my frustration on the customer service agent because it isn't their fault. It's the institution's fault. We were actually just gabbing and she was like, honestly, like, I totally feel you. We were just having like a heart to heart because she was like, I have a full-time job right now and I'm still struggling. Like, I understand where you're coming from. And she was like, just to be like nosy, she was like, I'm going to go double check something. And she comes back to tell me that they actually removed that temporary waiver so that like, if you're struggling or if you get laid off, they won't temporarily waive it for you anymore. Even for, a short period. It doesn't matter. You're struggling? Oh, well. So I get charged a $12 maintenance fee. And then I think the other account option, I don't think I qualified for it. I forget what she said the parameters were, but I think I had to be like 25 or younger, but they get charged a $5 maintenance fee if, they don't have like a $500 or $600 balance. Fuck these banks.
In this video today, we're going to talk about how the system is absolutely rigged against you. Oh no, not another one of these videos. Yes, one of these videos. Just imagine how much money I've had to spend simply restarting my life. How much money did I have to spend to store my stuff, only for my stuff to get sold off in an auction? And because I didn't have the money to keep this storage unit paid month to month. You gotta buy forks again, you gotta buy spoons again, and knives, and pots, and fucking pans, and spatulas, and tongs, and you gotta buy food again, you gotta buy fucking, essentials again, you gotta buy soaps again, and fucking deodorants, and fucking, God, everything. Blankets, and pillows, and fucking furniture all over again. All the clothes I had in my storage units for winter, gotta buy all those again. The electric guitar that I used to play and all the pedals that I had for it, fucking gotta buy all that again. I might have to buy another car because I don't know how long the city of Missoula is gonna hold mine hostage for. Who knows, we're gonna sell it off and somebody can buy it for like 20 bucks in an auction. Brand new fucking tires, brand new fuel pump, brand new spark plugs, brand new alternator. You know how much money I had to spend to keep that bitch going? I still had stuff that I was using in there. The dock for my motherfucking Nintendo Switch, the cords for all of that, an electric guitar, that's where I put my clothing, so do I gotta buy all that clothing again? It's insane how expensive it is just to be fucking broke, just to have no fucking money, just to have no fucking job. You know, you're rich, the money just keeps coming in, it keeps coming in, it keeps coming in. You don't even have to worry about it. You got an accountant all to fucking sort it out for you. You know, you're poor and you just gotta keep paying and you gotta keep paying and you gotta keep paying and it's never fucking enough. And it's like, dude, I just need some stability. That's all I'm asking for in this lifetime. Fuck. Oh yeah, you gotta go get this job and the hours aren't stable and the wages aren't stable and the fucking, you know, you gotta get this apartment and the rent isn't stable because the rent's just constantly going up and you gotta pay these utilities and these utilities aren't stable because utilities keep going up, people. You gotta pay these health insurances and these auto insurances and they're not stable because they don't cover anything. Why the fuck do you gotta have auto insurance if they're not gonna pay for your car getting fucking fucked? Why you gotta have health insurance if they can just deny your claim because they can't, not enough, it's not profitable for our company to fucking give you your health care. What the fuck? Talk about rigged against you, talk about you just gotta work to earn. How many people work to earn Social Security and they're like, yeah, we're about to run out, people aren't gonna get Social Security, we gotta cut off SNAP benefits to pay for this never-ending fucking war. Like, what do you mean we're all born with free will, but we have to earn our right to live from these fucking weirdos? It's like, oh yeah, I heard some shit about somebody, you know, ripping open a baby and eating the doo-doo out of the baby's intestines, and it's like, that's the person in charge of the country. You know, that's the person somebody's looking up to. Like, that's my fucking president, that's my senator, yeah. Gonna vote for him again this year. You know, he's doing a lot of good for our community. It's so fucking frustrating, the things that we all have to sacrifice in this lifetime for less than the bare minimum. The amount of time you gotta spend working at a job just to get nothing back from it. The amount of fucking time you gotta spend being worried and anxious and stressed out that you're not gonna make it to the next fucking week. You know, the energy that we all have to sacrifice to keep this machine running. You know, the relationships we have to sacrifice with our friends and our family members so that we can continue to make money to work. The stability we all sacrifice for ourselves because we're all so busy attempting to deny stability from each other because they have yet to meet the, you know, required amount of money. Well, you're homeless, so you just gotta round up about fucking $20,000 hard cash and you can have whatever you need for the next fucking whenever. It's fucked that some people have been working their entire lifetime since they were kids even. They'll never get that peace of mind to know that it's like, yeah, you don't have to work that hard anymore, bud. You can relax. You gotta grind and you gotta hustle and you gotta come up with your own scheme. Scheme is just a couple letters away from scam. And I keep seeing all these dumb videos like, this is the way that you're gonna exit the matrix. You're gonna make a bunch of money. And the way you're gonna make a bunch of money is by visiting the links in my bio. And it's gonna tell you everything you need to know. Do not wait to exit the matrix. And that's the problem with the internet anymore, is it's like, who's even real, who's fake? It's so easy to spoof an entirely fake person now with AI. Man, who knows if Charlie Kirk is even dead or not? It's like, how much of that did we watch was a goddamn spoof? Who knows if Trump is even alive or not, man? He might just be completely dead, and every time we see a video, it's a spoof. Oh no, yeah, he died fucking 2-3 years ago. We've just been fucking using AI to fucking spoof his shit. Who knows? Could be. We'll never know.
Look, I'm not going to pretend like I know what it's like to be poor, but when I hear things like the stock market is at an all-time high, but the average American isn't doing so well, all I can do is put 2 and 2 together. And I'm doing this out of love because I want to help you guys, okay? Maybe if poor people just took all of their extra money and put it into the stock market, maybe then you guys wouldn't be complaining about the economy. You'd be thanking the economy, right? I hope this doesn't come off as condescending, because I don't want you to think like, oh, I know how much extra money you have. I don't. Maybe it's only a couple $1,000s a week. But if that's all you have to invest, a couple $1,000s a week in the stock market will go a long way. Trust me, compound interest is a hell of a drug. And I've been taking that for years, okay? And If that's not working for you, have you considered crypto?
How are people holding up in this economy? Because the economy right now is bizarre. It's trash right now, garbage. I don't know if it's the dope, I don't know what it is. How there's not an uproar about this. Everyone's just taking it easy. And if they do have jobs, the jobs don't pay. How are you guys surviving on $7 an hour, $12 an hour, $11 an, especially in the South? Let's not even talk about the cities. How are people getting by? The credit card rates must be through the roof. This is why I'm a huge supporter for Medicare for all, child care for all, raising the minimum wage. Forget raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. It needs to be at least $25 an hour, except for small businesses. But those major corporations, you could pay at least $25 an hour. You can't say, oh, it's going to cause the economy to crash. But at the same time, prices and everything is going up. Wages remain stagnant. The federal minimum wage is still $7.25 an hour. Like, I just don't understand why people don't cause an uproar about this or is upset or angry. I'm going to be honest. Everyone cannot be celebrities. Everyone can't be entrepreneurs. You need consumers, right? Is it gatekeeping?
Here's an example of, and I've experienced this to an extent, and I've had friends experience this over and over again, of how being poor is really expensive. When you hear that, it doesn't make any sense. But here's a simple example. You own your house. Your grandma left it to you. You don't have a lot of overhead. You just have to keep the house up. But it is an older house. It came with a washer and dryer, and one day your washer craps out, and that happens. Like, they just wear out. You've done everything you can to try to repair it. You've looked online. It appears to be something that's a really expensive part, $200 or $300. And even if that's the problem, you have to, like, hope it's the problem. If you order that part, and then you have to hope you can install it. And if you call a repair guy, it's going to be $200 or $300 for the part, another $200 for him to come out and repair it. Now you're just in a new washer or a scratch and dent washer. See, okay, I can afford a scratch and dent washer, but right now, my 2-year-old and 3-year-old or 4-year-old, my teenager, all need clean clothes for school coming up on Monday. I'm working Saturday, but I have Sunday off. But the laundromat's only open until 10 o'clock, but I don't want to take my kids out late. So, but the problem is my car's not running very well. So I can take an Uber to get my car. So I'm going to jump in my car, go to start it. It's not doing very well. Okay, I got to take an Uber. So now I can't find anybody to drive me. All my friends are either at work or they're busy on a Sunday. So I jump in an Uber. It costs me $20 to go to the nearest laundromat which has limited hours. But I got to judge that. Like, do I go further and do it later in the afternoon? Whatever works for me. But here's the issue with that is that laundromat is more expensive. It's a brand deal. It's not a local place. They're more expensive. They are very nice. It's very nice. So I take the kids. I don't want to be out too late because the kids, they're 2 and 3, and my teenager has softball practice at like 5 o'clock. And we got to make that because that's really important for her. But the 2 little ones, they need to be in bed. I don't want to be out past 10 o'clock. So go spend that money, get to the laundromat now. I got to wash the sheets and blankets. The little one, peed on his bed. The teenager has to have the uniforms ready. So I get all that done, and I got to have it all done by 5 o'clock and get home, get the teenager, and then, get home. So get everything in. Laundromats can cost, and it's been a long time since I've been, so I'm going to say $25 in for a load of all that. Maybe even more if you have comforters or things you need to do. So you have to, you're kind of deciding, can we live without the comforter? Wash the sheets and not the comforter, and which clothes, and you're sorting all that, and you get it all, but you got to do it all. You only have this one chance. You don't have another chance for the week or two to get back to the laundromat. So you're washing all you can. Let's say it costs you, let's do an even up, $30. Now you take the Uber home, you walk the kids to softball practice, she walks home on her own because you're putting the little ones to bed. So then Monday rolls around again, and you found a scratch and dent washer online for $200, but you don't have $200. You had it in your savings, but you used about 50 to 60 bucks to get the Uber to go to wash the clothes. So next week, well, Monday rolls around, you got to do laundry again. So you now have dipped into your savings some more, and now you only have $100 left in your savings. So you talk to the scratch and dent place, and they say, sure, we will sell you this. You put a down payment, and then we're going to charge you interest, and you rent to own. So you do that, and you end up with $100 payment. So there's all your savings, and you had you have all your savings, but you get, and then they deliver it, and that was another $50 because you don't have a way to deliver it, and then you're hooking it up. You got to make sure it's okay, everything's good. You do that yourself. You just hope it doesn't leak. You hope there's not damage. So now I have a washer, but then around comes that payment. That whole month, you don't have to make another payment. That next month then comes around, and it's a $50 payment. Okay, so you have to take that out of your paycheck because your savings is gone. So now that $50 paycheck comes out of that's groceries. That's the money you were going to put towards fixing your car so it's a little safer. That was the money that you were going to put towards your electric bill that's a little higher because it's summertime and you have to run the air conditioning because your little one has asthma. You see what I'm talking about? That's how it happens. It's really expensive to be poor because everybody sees you coming. They see you coming and they charge you, and it costs more money because you can't just pay cash. If you could have just said, oh, great, the washer and dryer is broken, I'm just going to go spend this $200 and buy a washer, and it's perfect. But that's not the way it works. If you even have savings. If you have $200 in savings, you're probably doing better than a lot of us. And that's really good. And I commend you for that. And it can be really hard to save that kind of money. So if you have $200 in savings, good job. Like, that's really hard to do. Believe it or not. I know a lot of people, my parents would scoff at that. They'd be like, what do you mean it's hard? It's really hard to put $200 in savings and not touch it.